Okay, sorry for that power disconnection, people. My computer got off suddenly. So yes, we were talking about the HTML tags, and I was taking your consideration to the main tags that we can use, which we call the HTML opening and closing tag. And we discussed we need a couple of tag always, no, actually in most of the times, to indicate an effect which is happening to a web page, right? So if we are going to build a web page, we are going to use a language called HTML, and HTML is a scripting language, and scripting language has several elements for us to use. Those are kind of building blocks of that particular language. So using those elements, we can provide, or like we can create the contents that can be seen by a web browser, right? So we use web browser to retrieve an HTML code, or like not rather the retrieving, it's rendering. Like according to the code that we have written, the output will be shown on the web browser, right? So I told you it's a must to have HTML starting tag and the ending tag to define that this is an HTML code. And inside an HTML code, there are two sections, which I call the head section, which starts from here and which ends from here in this code, and the body section, which starts from here and ends from here, right? So this head section is capable of taking care of the title kind of places in this browser, the very top place, right? And the rest of this white space, which we call body, is taken care by this section, right? Where it has contents in between the body tags, right? So in this code, I have taken two particular tags, which is inside the head tag. I have used another tag couple called title. So in between titles, I have written something called my web page. So my web page, it can be shown over here, my web page, right? So if you change a title, if you change something in between title tags, it is going to show you as the title. So if I change this into, let's say, page 1, 2, 3, and I can save my notepad either by pressing Ctrl S or going to the save option over here. Then I have to refresh my page to see the differences. Now here I got my web page still as my heading, right? So I'm going to refresh it. So now it is being changed into a page 1, 2, 3. Earlier it was my web page over here. So I got page 1, 2, 3 over here in my code. So I can have page 1, 2, 3 over here displayed by the browser, right? So that is how the title of a web page can be get changed. So inside the body tag, I haven't talked to you about much. I told you about the BR tag, which help you to create a line break, right? Without the BR tag, I told you we can't have line breaks, right? If I save my code like this, I will not see hello on a one line and a world on another line, because by default, like HTML is not understanding the break is done, the break which is done by the keyboard. Enter key එක ඔබලා මෙහෙම line එකක් break කරන එක browser cannot recognize that, right? Now here what we have done is we have enter a line break using an enter key. So enter key is something that that can be understood by this particular application, Notepad, but not from the browser. So because of that, even though my coding is like this, if I refresh the page, you can see hello space world on a one single line. It is because in HTML, we haven't said to break the line. So if you want to have it as two lines, so I have to use the BR tag, which is a single tag. It does not have a couple. So when it does not have a couple, we use a backslash at the end of that tag. So BR backslash will show you a line break. So wherever you use a BR, it will break a line. And in case if you use another BR, it will break the line for another time, right? So I'm using 2 BRs over here. First, I'll show you what happens with the 1 BR, right? So if I use that, yeah, so it says after the hello word, break the line. So it breaks. So then the typing or the character displaying is happening on the next line. So if I use another BR over here, that means it's going to show me an extra space or like a space in between hello and world. So from this particular point to this particular point will be done by the first BR. From that particular point to this particular place, the starting of the world word will be done by the next BR. Right? Okay, people, are we clear about this thing? Yes, everyone? Are we clear? Okay, great. All right. So now what are we going to do is we are trying to learn more tags that we can use inside an HTML page or like HTML code. Now, since I was talking about you about this hello and world, so now I'm going to introduce you the header tags, right? Now, header tags are the tags which indicates by H, and it has several different levels. So to identify several different levels, we use a number. So H1 is the first level of the header tags. So it has a couple. So I'm going to close the H1 tag as well. So since I got H1 couple over here and hello in between H1, if I save it and if I refresh it, you can see only the hello word, right? Hello, only the word hello in bigger size, in big font. So that is why we call this header tags. To create a heading, we use H1 tags. So likewise, this H1 tags, like we use H1 tag, we can use these header tags in different levels from like H1 to H6. So if I change these into H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. All right, and here H6, H5, H4, H3, and H2. Yes, now you can see I have used a header tags. In between, I have the hello word. So I have the same hello word in between H2, in between H3, in between H4, H5, and H6. Every header tag contains a couple, right? So now this code says type the hello word for 6 times on my body. Let's see how it's going to work. I'm saving it and I'm refreshing this. Okay, could you see that? Right, so the bigger font is given by the H1. So when you are like increasing the number of the header tags, it decreases the size of the font. And they are bold, right? To show the difference in between the header tags and the normal letters, I'll write something over here. So I'll write the same word hello, right? Hello, and I say without any tag. Right, so if I save it and if I refresh it, yeah, see, this is the way that you can see, right? Let me change this simple H into a capital H, save it and refreshing over here. Yeah, can you see like this hello and this hello, something same in size, but this particular one, which is given by the H4, is bolded, and here it's not being bolded. right? So H1 give you the bigger fonts, H2 still it is bigger than the normal, H3 is bigger than the normal, H4 comes the very same size of the normal fonts, and H5 and H6 are smaller, but still they are being bolded. And there is a very nice fact regarding these H1 tags. Can you see there is a space in between these hellos, the first hellos as well as this? It is because the header tags is creating an empty line from the top as well as the bottom of the way of the place where we are like using the header tags. So since this word is limited by the header tags, it will show on the screen and it will use an empty line after that. So the same header tags, I like the same header levels will do the same thing, right? So it will always make a space right after the content that we are using in between header tags, right? So now when I'm writing this hello without any tags, I haven't used any BR, but you can see this particular line is at the bottom, right? Like after this hello is done by is modified from this hello, right? And we know like generally to break a line we need a BR tag, but here from the H tags they do a automatic breaking of the line, not just for one time, they are doing it for 2 times, right? So because once you've done a breaking, you will be taken from the place after the O to the place in between these hello words. Then you have done the breaking, then it will take the cursor to this particular word, right? Breaks දෙකක් දැම්ම වගේ, right? මේ ලොකු hello world එකෙන් පස්සේ hello එකෙන් පස්සේ හිස්තනක් තියෙනවා, ඒකට එක line break එකයි ඊළඟ එකේන type කරන තැනට යන තව line break එකකුයි. So it's almost similar to 2 break tags, right? And it's the way that the header tags are working, as well as when it comes to the paragraph tags, it has the same appearance or the arrangement inside it. When you use the P tags, paragraph එකක් කියලා indicate කරගන්න P tag එක පාවිච්චි කරලා, when you use a P tag does the same thing. It's going to show you an empty line just before and after the particular paragraph tag that you are using. Okay, people, are you clear with the header tags? Oh, right, okay. Let's quickly write about this header tags in a short form. Right, so it's over here. Yes, people, and we didn't, did we write this basic structure? We did write about this, right? We wrote about this, did we? Okay, so that means we can start it from here. Header tags. So you may write the things that I'm highlighting. Yeah, it's better you write the entire para. It describes what the header tag is, right? So please let me know when you are done and be quick, people. Okay, are we done, people? Anyone who is still writing? Okay, so moving forward. Right, so once the header tags are done, I'm taking you to the tag called font. Now, why I'm taking you to the tag called font, I need you to show the capability of a tag. Now, tag is not, it's not only the tag that we can use, right? There are some other attributes. So like these attributes are going to describe the tag further, right? So that means if you are like using the font tag, I can introduce you what are the attributes are going to be. So let's see how the font tag is going to work. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this header tag and I'm going to take a tag called font. And it has a closing tag as well. And font tag is taken care of the fonts on the web page, right? So using the font tag, you can control the size of a font, a color of a font, a type of the font, likewise, right? But it can be done by the attributes of the font. So first of all, I will write something in between the font tags. So H1 contains hello, font in between font tag contains the word world, right? I'll take some another word like apple, all right? Okay, I'm saving this. I'm saving it. And I'm going to refresh it. Right, so now this hello stack is going to go. Yeah, it's going to be like this because of the H1 tags. Hello is over here. Because of this font tag, apple is over here. And this hello without any tag, it's because of this. I'm going to get rid of that as well. Right, saving it, refreshing it. So I got only the hello, the word hello and the word apple. So putting apple in between font tags does not make any changes. It's the very same one that we can see when you write something without any tags. So inside the font tag, I can use something called attributes, right? So there is an attribute called face, right? So as I told you, the attributes are there to describe the element further. So we are describing the font element using the face attribute. Face attribute will help you to define different kinds of font names, right? So I'll take a font name from my word processing software. Right, so what are the fonts that we have? Let's take some of the fonts are the one which is going to support over here. So let's see whether this is supporting Broadway. So I'll take face equals Broadway. Let's see whether this is working or not. So then this is the starting tag of the font. Still we are inside the font starting tag. You're going to have something called face equals, I have given a particular name of the font and close the double quotes, and then I'm going to close the angle bracket of the starting tag. Starting tag. So let's see what's going to happen. I am saving this. I'm sorry. I saved it. Here I'm going to refresh it. Oh, see, now hello comes with the default font face and the apple comes with the Broadway font face. Right, so that is how you are going to change the type of the font. People, are we clear about this? Okay, right. Then I'm going to introduce you another attribute. Now, people, when you are writing the attribute, you can just use a space and write all the attributes you want. So now you are inside the font tag, you keep a space and write the attribute name and have the equal sign. Then you have to give the value. The value must be within inverted commas, right? So here I'm going to take another attribute called size. And using the H tags, I can increase the size of the font, right? So here as a size, I'm going to give 4. Let's see whether 4 is working, right? And I'm saving it. Now I'm going to the browser and ask her to refresh. Right, and hold on. That's my size. Yeah, size, it is 4 that I have given. Yeah, so no changes can be seen. Do you remember what happens when you use H4? And I'm going to use 5 over here. Let's see what's happening. I'm refreshing this. Okay, the word apple is going to increase its font size. If I use something like 2, it's going to give me smaller font size. See, likewise. So likewise, you can give 6 over here, which is going to be same in size with the hello. Likewise. Right, and you can stay without specifying the size. So the browser will take its own size, the default size, to make the font size. And if you use something bigger than 6, let me use 7 and see. Refresh. Yeah, it's getting much bigger. Right. Let's use 8. See, it's not going to increase further than that. So that means the size of the font can be given from 1 to 7, right? Those are the size that we can use. We can't use like something more than that, right? So size, then what we can use, the color, right? So when it comes to the colors, I can provide red, the color name, and look what happens. See, the word apple has become red, right? So why the apple? Why only the apple is red? Yes, it is because I have written the color only for things in between the font tag. So in between the font tag, you can use the color for that particular word. All right, and there are many other ways that you can give the color names. In your textbook, they have shown you different types of colors over here. So you can use any name of these things. Like even there are like many names apart from this, right? So you can have it. So without using the name of the color, instead of the color name, we can use a separate code to indicate the color. So there are 2 types of code. One is called the RGB colors, and the other one is called the hex colors or the hashtags, right? So now RGB colors They are just indicating red, green, and blue. And to indicate the red, green, and blue in the hash code or like the color hex, we use 2 digits, right? So what we are going to do is, instead of giving red, I'm going to give this FF 4 zeros, because RGB, right? So these RGB colors, it has separate things. Like when it comes to the hex, it starts from 00, goes until FF, the smallest value and the largest value. Let me change this into a font. Right, so likewise, if you think about the green, goes the same way. No green will indicate by 00. Maximum green will indicate by FF. Right, and for blue goes the same story, 004. The non-usable color, or like when the colors are not being used, FN will use the colors, right? So to have the red color only, you can write these things are going to be simple as well. Right, to have the red color only, you can say FF 0000. So only the red will be shown, no green is used, no blue is used. So this is red. If you type it like 00 FF 00, and this indicates blue. Right, and if you take like this 0000 FF, it's going to give you a green. And when you use all 3 components, right, so all these components are made out of red, green, blue, right? So they mix each other and give you a color. And if you give the color like this, or like this, FF, this is going to show you the color white. And this all zeros are going to show you black. All right, people, are we clear about this? The way that the hexadecimals are working on the particular RGB color combination? Yes, everyone, is that clear? Okay, so what we can do is, without using a concrete name for a color, you can give a hashtag, like, so let's say I'm giving hashtag 00FF00. So like that means the the word apple is going to display in blue. I'm sorry, RGB, green. Let me see. All right, here I'm refreshing. Yeah, there you go. So your word apple is taken into green. right? And again, you can break these attributes like this. If you want to watch or see it quickly, you can break it, but be careful to put the content and the element that you were doing. Yeah, people, are we clear about the font tag and these three attributes, font face, size, and color? Is it clear? Yes, everyone, is that clear? Okay, right. Let's write about this thing. Right. Let's write about this right over here. Yes. Have the heading font tag. Yes. Let's go it like this. That's it. You really don't need to remember the hex code of main colors, but it's better you get the logic how to create the red, blue, green, as well as black and white. That will be sufficient, right? You don't need to remember all the hex codes, which is not possible. Right? You can mention these 3 points, and later we'll write the examples. Okay, are we done? Anyone who is still writing? All right, moving forward. You don't need to write the name of these things, but you can write these examples, right? And if you got any color pencil or something, it's better you draw the output as well. Yes, are we done, people? Anyone who is still writing? Okay, moving forward. And you can write the second example as this. Okay, are we done, people? Anyone who is still writing this? Right. Great. Okay. So moving to the center tag. Yes. No. So with center tag, you will be given these tags, like introduction for these tags as well. So center tag is something which help you to make any content center, right? Because now in early days, or like there are versions for the HTML. So now the HTML 5.0 is the version now that they are going on. Like before the 5.0, there were attribute for the for some elements where they can align the things into the center align in using an attribute. But with the 5.0, they are not helping, or they are not supporting to make that any particular content comes into the center of the page. So because of that, they have introduced you the center tag. So if you use center tag and you put anything in between, so it will be center aligned in the page. As well as there are these tags, which we call bold tag, italic, underline, emphasize, strikeout, superscript, subscript, as well as marquee, right? So these tags are there to give this kind of appearance to your content. So if you use bold tags, and if you're using something in between bold tags, it will become bold. If you use italic tag, it will be italicized. If you use underline tags, it will be underlined. Emphasize is something which works very similar to the bold, right? And strike through will draw a line through a word. And superscript, it will take the letters from upward from the baseline, right? I think you can remember the superscript and the subscript in the word processing software that we were discussing, right? So if you want to type like a date, 24th, the TH should be at the top. So we can use the superscript. And in the same way, if you want to do a subscription, if you want to take any particular character down from the baseline, you can use the subscript. And marquee, it is a nice tag which help you to animate some particular words from left to your right when we use marquee tags. So let's see how these things are going to work, right? So let me take my web output over here. Yes. So I got H tags, I got font tags over here. And now my header tag, okay, maybe Sasrika, maybe emphasize is not supporting, and then the strong tag can be used. Let's check that as well, right? So now if you want to center align the hello word, the word hello is here because of these H1 tags. So what you can do is you can either use center tag over here, and at the end you can close the center tag likewise, right? So I started the center tag and put the H1 tag and put the hello and end the H1 and end the center, right? So if I save it and once I refresh it, you can see the hello tag is center aligned in the browser area. If I maximize this, it will be at the center of the maximized position. Right, so likewise, we can apply the center tag at any place you want. So whatever the content you put in between center tags, it will center align, right? So let me try the other tags that we were talking about. Let's try the bold tag over here. And I'll go with the word apple. And I'm using the underline tags. And yeah, since I have to type a couple of things, I'm getting a copy of this and paste in. Yes, I can use italic tag and strike through. And let's try the emphasize as well. Sasrika said it is not working. Let's check it out. And I'm using superscript and subscript, sub. And finally, I'm using the marquee tags. Yep. So let's see. So first I'm enabling the Apple with the bold tags. So I'm going to save this and I'm refreshing over here. Yeah, as you can see, like I'll put Apple like just before. Otherwise you can't see the difference in between the bold tags and the non-bold one. And I need a BR like, otherwise I won't be able to see these like one after the other. So I'm copying this BR tag at the end of each line, so I can see these things one after the other then, right? So I'm saving it. So now I have just the Apple word at the top. Then I'm going to have the Apple word with the bolded face. So here I am. Yes. So this is the non-bolded one. This is the one that I was applying the bold. And for underline one, I'll use mango. So once I save it and refresh it over here, there comes the underline. Mango is underlined. And here, let me say pumpkin. I'll save it. There you go. So pumpkin is in between italics, which indicates italicizing, right? So pumpkin. And I'll show what? Banana. To check the strike through. Yes, there you go. Strike through for banana, right? So the line is going on at the middle of the capital letter, right? And emphasize, I'm going to use the same Apple word because bold and emphasize are like explained in the same way. So refreshing. Yes, look at that. Is it because, yeah, emphasize, it's kind of a italicizing that they are doing. Hold on, let me check. Did I miss anything? Emphasize. No, it's just talking about the boldness. Yes, yes, Sasrika. So there is a particular effect, Sasrika, but which is not the boldness it gives us, right? Yes, yes, it's working as the emphasize working as the italics, right? And as Sasrika said, there is something called strong. Let's check that as well. Strong. I can save it and I'll refresh it. Yes, see, this bold and strong act like together, right? Like similarly. Then to try the superscript, I'm going to type a particular date. So now look at this. If I type 24th over here, if I type 24th of July, it's going to show me this. See, now TH is on the same level. If I want to take the TH superscripted, so I'm going to put a TH in between this superscript tag and cut it and place it over here. See, now I got 24 at the outside and TH will be superscripted, and of July is going to be normal again. So I'm refreshing it. Oh, I didn't save this. Am I refreshing it? There you go. TH comes at the top. And to experience the subscript, let's say we need to give the chemical name for water, which is called H2O. So if I put it like this, 2 is not being what? Subscript, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 over here. And I'm going to take that part and put it over here. And save it. Refresh it. There you go. H2O comes as a subscript. Yes, Udamya. Could be. Right? Udamya is saying like emphasize working as a bold in the previous version of the HTML. Right? Yeah, that's why I told you like when the versions are changed, things are a little bit changed, right? But not the major ones. And now let's think about marquee. It says, let's say, hey, I am moving. Right, so market tag, here it goes. Hey, I'm moving. Right, and there are certain attributes regarding the marquee. If you could search, you can find those things, and you can change the direction of the moving. Right, so likewise, you can use those kind of tags to format your text on the web page. People, is it clear? Yes, everyone, is that clear? Okay, right, great. So let's have these on our note. So yeah, it's better you write about the center tag. Yeah, it's better you say this tag used to align not only the title, right? Align an object of your web page to the center along the horizontal axis. Yeah, so after this, it's better you write this letter. I'll put that word over here. Right, so you can say this is a tag used to align any object of your web page to the center along the horizontal axis. This can be used not only for the text, but also for the element such as picture. Right, so so after that, I'll show you an example, right? So you may write it below the center tag. Then after we go to the table, right? So quickly write this down. Then I'll show you what's the right. Are we done with this? Can I move you to the example? Anyone who is writing this still? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, Udamya. Just the highlighted part. Just the highlighted part. Okay, are we done? Right. All right. So let's have, yeah, I'll type quickly this code. Right. So as an example, you just write these two lines, right? These two lines as an example, then I'll show you what's the output is. Just write those two lines like one after the other as an example. Okay, so if you are done, let me show you the output. Yeah, so for the output, I'll take a screenshot. Yes, so you may draw this as the output, right? Only this part. Hello is center line, Apple is left line. Okay, are we done, people? Yes, okay. It's like anyone who is still writing? Okay, so let's move to the other part. So, yes, the next subheading, let's go it like this. Your heading is going to be tags, which can be used to design texts. That's going to be your subheading. Then you may copy the table underneath it, right? Tags, which can be used to design text. That's the subheading. Then the table is going to be the content under it, right? So copy it down, people. Let me know when you are done. All right, people. How's it going? Are we done? Okay, anyone who is still writing this? All right, so moving forward, now the ball tag, it's showing over here, and the yes, italic, all these things are given over here as the examples. So we have written it as the examples. And next is about inserting an image and formatting it. Before that, I have some activity for you to be done. Let me show you it. Yeah. This is the one that you are going to do for your activity. Yes, this has some image to be inserted. Hold on. There was another. Yes, this one. So let me take a small screenshot. Right. So this is going to be your practical for you to create. Right, and I'll mark this portion, and it's need to be a marking. So I'm writing over this as a moving text. Yeah, a moving text. All right. So since the time is up, I'm going to put you this as a homework, right? So it is for 14. So I want you to try this at home and write the coding regarding that. We will discuss the coding by next week. I'll show you the coding, then you can do the corrections, right? I'll put you this image onto your WhatsApp groups. So you take it from there and write down the coding, right? So it's regarding the things that we have done so far, right? Okay, people. So I'm going to end the session from this point just for today. right? And yeah, I'll see you next week for the very same time to continue with the HTML, and we'll discuss some more tags regarding the HTML pages, right? Okay, people. So thank you very much. I'm going to end the session from here, and have a very nice weekend.